Oh, hey, you again. Brandon, Legacy Group Real Estate Team here. I just wanted to bring you a little quick Q&A. I get a question a lot, our team gets questioned a lot about earnest money deposits. Fun topic, really fun topic, so I hope you'll stay here for the 30-minute video on deposits. No, but seriously. Deposits. A deposit is something you have to put down just like you're buying a TV or whatever it may be. You put a deposit down. You're holding your place in line. You're putting some skin in the game. Whatever analogy you want to use, that's what it is. And what it does is it goes towards closing, and it holds your spot in line, like I said. But it is something that if you follow the contract and if you stay in the contract, you could get back. You could, if you follow the contract and you stay within your inspection periods or whatever it may be, and you back out if you have to for some reason, you can't negotiate the problems, then it's something that you can get back. Now, you could lose your deposit if you go outside of the contract, conversely. So if you go outside, waive your inspection period, and then you go outside of that, and then you say, hey, I want out because I really don't like the house anymore. I don't like the way this looks, or that, the way the status of that, or the condition of that, then that's fine. You can back out. No one's holding you to staying in the offer, but you're most likely going to lose your deposit and the seller's going to take it. So that is really long and the short of a deposit and what happens. And that deposit goes towards your closing. Again, it goes towards your closing, but as a buyer, but as a seller on the other side, you want as much as possible as a seller. You want skin in the game. You want a lot of skin in the game if you can. And as a buyer, you want as little skin in the game as possible. You don't want to put as much down. So that's the two ways you have to look at it, from the seller side and the buyer side. There's two different viewpoints, obviously, and then it's up to the buyer and the seller to negotiate what the fair deposit is. So that's and a lot of times it's 1% of purchase price. So whatever the purchase price is, a lot of times it's usually around 1% of purchase price. But again, deposit is for the buyer to put some skin in the game. That way, just any Joe Blow's not coming off the street and just throwing out offers left and right and putting out 100 offers. So it makes you put some skin in the game. What happens is the buyer puts the deposit in. It's got to be within 48 hours of an accepted offer, and the buyer's check comes out of their account, and then it goes into the brokerage, whatever brokerage it is. It goes into a non-interest bearing account there, at least for our brokerage, and then it sits there and goes out of the buyer's account, like I said, and it sits there until closing, and then it comes back out at closing for the buyers. So I hope that kind of clears things up. We get a lot of questions about the deposit and what happens and what needs to be done, but that is the story on deposits. You have to have it in within 48 hours. It's got to be there till closing, unless somebody backs out. But then if that does happen, the buyer and seller both have to sign a mutual release stating we're out of this contract, and then this is where the deposit goes. So they have to both agree, even if you follow the contract, even if everything's okay and everything was followed to the T. It doesn't mean that you're out of the water yet. Someone could make a claim and say, hey, this is what's going on, and we're not going to let it go that easy, and we're going to fight for it, or whatever. So you do the best you can. You follow the contract to the best of your ability, and then generally things go smoothly. But if it doesn't, then things could go south. But generally they do. Things work out. But again, if it doesn't work out, then you have to both sign the release. You have to both agree on where that deposit's going and what's happening with it. So I hope that clears up the deposit situation for you. It's not going to be a 20 or 30-minute video. That is all for now. So I look forward to bringing you guys, and the Legacy Group looks forward to bringing you guys more your Q&A. Keep sending in those questions. We really appreciate all the questions, and obviously we get a ton of questions just day to day all the time, and we're trying to keep up with that and just in documenting all the questions that we get. But if you think of something, please, text, call, email, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Let us know what your questions are. That way we can answer them. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.